which is in theaters now at the time of this recording. We both saw it separately.
Yes.
And yeah, it's out now. It's produced and I think written by Seth Rogen. Sorry, I just don't like Seth Rogen. I mean, I like his work. It's just him personally the last few years. He's turned into a real asshole. But I left that at the door.
Okay.
I left that. It was hard because the movie started with him before the movie going, oh, thank you for coming to the theater. I'm like, ah. I'm like, I don't want to look at you. I got to hear your voice. I don't want to look at you. But yeah, I watched it the other night. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
They had a very unique animation style.
Yeah, it's getting compared a lot to Spider-Verse, but it's not quite the same thing as Spider-Verse.
Not quite.
It has some similarities, but it's not the same.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the visual style, but there were moments where I couldn't tell what was happening. Like it was screen was busy. Screen was a little too busy, a little too muddy. Also, it was weird that like everyone is so exaggerated and weird looking, but then they're watching real movies. I'm like, nah, that doesn't work.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't want to jump too far into a specific part of it, but like so many people freaked out about April being different and
right,
like body type and skin color and all sort of stuff, and everyone just kept kind of comparing, like showing pictures of the original cartoon where April was kind of this like bombshell.
Yeah.
Everyone was ugly in this movie. Like, everyone in New York.
Yeah, there wasn't really a handsome gentleman out of the bunch here.
I mean, everyone in New York was a slob. Yeah. Like,
also, keep in mind, she is a teenager herself, which I think one of the newer cartoons, one, also made her black, but two, also made her, like, part of the team and, like, the similar age, right?
Right. The Nick Turtles, the one that I said was really good. They made her a younger kid.
But then there was a one after that.
Then there was one after that, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which took a lot of Bay Turtle influence, but was really little kid and silly. Yeah. That one they did have her be black in that one.
And I know people were expecting me to get angry about it, and I was just said, like, guys, I don't really care about April O'Neil in general. Like, I liked her in the first movie, TMNT. Megan Fox in the first one was interesting, but I'm not like, April O'Neil is my favorite character ever. For me, it's like, that's the lady who hangs out with the turtles. And that's, for me, I'm like, that's all I really know her doing. And in this movie, guess what? She was a lady who hung out with the turtles.
There's actually a little controversy going on with the toys.
Really?
The April figure is not single-carded. She's not in a single pack like this.
Oh, yeah.
She's in a box set with the turtles and a Bebop repaint figure. It's an exclusive to one of the retailers, and there are black versions and white versions.
Really?
Yes. She's released in 2 skin tones.
I get her being grouped with other characters because, I don't know, if you go to a...
The female toys don't sell that well.
If you go to a Five Below right now, you can find a lot of Mary Marvels and Rose Ticos. So it's smart.
Yes.
Because before they just wouldn't make the character.
Right.
And it's like, well, that's not fair to someone. It's smart to package them with someone. It's like, well, I really want that. So that makes sense, but making a white version
both versions. So.
Wait, they're doing that in America?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's something you, like, do overseas. And then
well,
you play dumb. You're like, oh, I can't believe it. Must have been a mistake.
A lot of the toy people thought that the white version was getting shipped to other markets or something. Maybe they were going to change her skin tone in the animation. You know, that was kind of the rumor, but people are finding, like, equal numbers of these sets showing up to retail here in the U.S. So.
That's messed up. So, yeah, the story in this, and I actually appreciate that for a Turtles origin, I didn't mind them leaving Shredder out. It was a nice change.
I think it was a nice change.
It was a nice change. So in this version, Baxter Stockman is not a flyman, but he creates a flyman. He basically creates the ooze, and he actually creates all the mutants. I don't know how you feel about that. Like,
I thought that was fine.
Okay, yeah. So he creates all the mutants, and then one thing falls down the sewer and creates the Ninja Turtles and Splinter. Why the turtles were in the sewer, even in the original one, I never understood. Actually, that's getting back to the 2013 one. I like how they explain why there were turtles in the sewer. Like, I know people flush things down the toilet or whatever, but it's like there were just happened to be 4 turtles.
In the comic and the cartoon, the kid is leaving a pet store and he like drops the bowl and they fall down the drain.
That makes more sense.
But in the 90s movie, they don't really show. They're just
there.
Find these turtles in the ooze. You know?
Yeah. So yeah, that was there, and then Splinter raised them.
Yeah.
So they are like, I don't know, they're young. They're like 12.
They're very young. Yeah.
Yeah. And they sound like young teenagers, which I know threw a lot of people off. I didn't like in the trailer it weirded me out, but during the movie I wasn't bothered by it.
The one voice I thought was odd to me, and I don't know why, but Michelangelo's voice never seemed like it was coming out of his body for me. I don't know what it was. It like just didn't fit. Maybe because Michelangelo is my favorite turtle, and he generally is shown as like the youngest turtle. Like Donatello definitely was like the squeakiest.
Yeah.
And I get that. Okay, he's the nerd, so let's make him that one. But for some reason, the voice that kept coming out of Michelangelo, I kept thinking would have fit better on one of the other turtles. But that was my own like take on it. But I did enjoy that they had young kids.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work out for sequels because their voices are going to change.
Yeah, I just recast.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, because usually it's adults playing the teens, and that's the thing. They never in these. The Bay ones never felt like teenagers, even though they were technically like 15.
Yeah.
But no, in this they actually feel like teens. They feel like they're doing stuff that teens are doing now on their phones and whatnot, doing weird dance challenges. Well, I do like that part where they're all doing like weird dances.
Yeah.
I think Michelangelo's like twerking. I'm like, that's kind of funny. I enjoyed that. So it's more relatable because sure, in the 90s, the kids were doing like surfer stuff, like cowabunga and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like that made sense for back then, but if you're gonna modernize it, you gotta modernize it.
Yeah.
But no, I think they work. They are the perfect amount of redesigned. They look like the classic characters, but they have enough unique stuff that doesn't distract you.
Right.
Which I liked. Like I think Donatello wears glasses, but they're not like super, like they don't, they're not weird, overly.
They're not magnifying his eyeballs. Yeah.
Yes.
He has glasses. He has like a fanny pack strapped to him.
Yeah.
Like headphones around his neck. But like just enough that you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You know, Raphael has like the skull cap bandana in this version.
Yeah, which they've given him a lot in a lot of more recent
bunch of versions. And that's fine. Like but they look enough like the original version that you don't look at them and go, that's not how the turtles look.
Yeah.
You know?
No, they look the most like the turtles in a while, actually. I guess the whole plot is that there is an evil company. Is it TCRI? I don't know if we ever learn if that's who they are.
It is. TCRI.
It is. That wants this mutation stuff.
Yeah, Cynthia Utron, which is the Krang. Krang is an Utron. That's the race of brain people.
I did not know that.
Yes. So
she is the weirdest looking character in the movie, by the way.
So like 99% if they do a sequel, she's got a Krang in her. She's a robot with a Krang in her.
Oh, that'd be a cool revelation.
Because that's just what they. That's kind of what the Krang are.
Wait, a lady Krang? Cancel the sequel. Cancel the sequel.
It might be a man in a female robot body, but the Krang,
no, that's cool.
what the Krang do. They
missed that.
Have human suits.
I missed that whole detail.
Okay.
Thank God I did this episode with you.
There you go.
Yeah, so she's one of the bad guys that's like, we need these mutants.
She like sends goons to get the ooze from
Yeah.
Baxter, which starts the whole creation, and then she's still after the turtles. You know, once they're
and I like that they have guns that can demutify things, which is pretty cool. And then the other set of bad guys are Superfly, played by Ice Cube, who might have jumped up to being one of my favorite turtle villains in any of these movies. And him and his mutant crew are Bebop, Rocksteady, and then there's a bunch of other ones who are characters from things. Do you know their names? Sorry.
Ray Fillet.
Ray Fillet. Which one was he?
He was the Stingray. Played by Post Malone. He's always singing.
Oh, gotcha.
Ray Fillet. Yeah. Leatherhead, who is the alligator.
I knew him.
Gender swapped it to a woman because Seth Rogen is friends with an Aussie girl.
Wait, what? Just worst movie. The episode's done. They ruined Leatherhead. Kevin, my childhood is ruined. I knew Leatherhead was a character. I know nothing about them. But anyway.
Leatherhead, who has had different versions that are like, sometimes he's just a really big like alligator, and other times he's like more of the rednecky, like wearing a hat kind of version that this one was. Scumbug, which is the really weird one that ends up with Splinter. Okay, well, we're going to talk about that in a second. Okay. And then I think there's a Gecko. Mondo Gecko. Who's played by Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd. Okay. The humans got to go. Mondo Gecko is kind of a fun character. And these all are characters from something. Oh, yeah. They've been in cartoons. They've been in toys. I didn't know if they like threw in some new ones. So one of the funny things in the 2012 cartoon, that Nick Turtle show that I like, they don't have Michelangelo say cowabunga in that series. Really? They have him say booyakasha. That's his catchphrase. But when they meet Mondo Gecko, Mondo Gecko says cowabunga to him. And so one time in the series, he says cowabunga, like, back to him. Oh, that's Which was kind of a fun little, like, yeah, we get it. You changed it because trying to make it not be the original.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
So Mondo Gecko is always kind of a funny character in whatever version they put him in.
Yeah. Okay,
I think there's somebody else too.
Yeah, there was.
There was like a bunch of them. Well, Bebop and Rocksteady are in it. John Cena and Seth Rogen play them. And they were pretty minimal in like lines. So you didn't really feel like you were listening to Seth Rogen a whole lot.
Yeah. And like they usually, like in the previous one, they were like a big deal.
Right.
But this one, they're like part of like a group.
Yeah, it was a big ensemble of bad guys.
It was a huge ensemble. And like I said, Superfly is basically like a version of Baxter Stockman. They
and I think
split the characters.
I think they probably originally planned him to, because like the design of Baxter, not to say that like an afro kind of thing can't be multiple people, but they definitely seem to have the same hairstyle.
Or he like modeled himself off of Baxter.
He grew his hair like his dad.
But like I said, Superfly, friggin' what's his face? Ice Cube is so good at this.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Y'all some little tortoises, huh?
I can't believe there are other mutants.
You want to roll with us?
But yeah, so the whole theme of this is like, I want to be part of society, but will they accept me? And like, there's a really good origin with Splinter, which I like. So he's giving them the backstory, which they already know, but it's for the audience.
I'll tell you again.
He's like, so yeah, I was a rat. I didn't have any friends. I had one friend and I ate him after he got killed.
Which my stepsons thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like that scene, that just hit their funny bone. It was perfect kid humor.
And I do like where he's just like, yeah, so we all got mutated by the ooze. And it's like, I was an old rat, so I became an older rat man. But you were babies, so you stayed babies. And he goes, it makes perfect sense if you think about it. I'm like, it makes no goddamn sense. Yeah, and I actually, this, again, getting into Splinter's origin, this has become the most, like, confusing one that makes no sense, but it might be my favorite Splinter. I like that he just looks like a dad. And he's got like the mustache and the weird afro thing.
Yeah. And he's wearing like a bathrobe. It's not really like a gi, but it looks enough like...
Well, before the bathrobe, and in the flashback, he's wearing like a t-shirt, like touristy shirts. Yeah. And he talks about the time where he tried to bring the turtles up and everyone got scared and rejected them.
Yes.
So yeah, that's the thing. The turtles want to be a part of the human world, much like the Little Mermaid. I'm surprised they didn't sing that song. And I like that Leonardo, I got it right that time. I just realized their names are there, so now I'm not going to mess it up. I like that he is the one who is like the responsible brother, but like the younger ones, the other ones are trying to get him to like break out of his, have a little fun. And they're right to a degree.
Yeah.
Because Splinter definitely is way too strict. But what I like about this Splinter is he does kind of try to make up for it. He makes them the human world. Yeah. Which is, he makes the den look like a restaurant. And he has cutouts of Christopher Pine and someone else.
Chris Evans.
And Chris Evans.
And it's just 3 Chris's. And is it Chris Hemsworth is the other one?
I forget. But he has cutouts of them. Now here, I don't know if you heard the Splinter controversy.
What? Oh. Because he dates Scumbug at the end?
He dates Scumbug, but there was a misprint on one of the posters that said Scumbug was a dude. So everyone went...
Because they gender swapped Scumbug.
Yes. So, because in the thing, it's a girl.
Yes.
Yeah. So
but originally, Scumbug is a man.
Yes. So everyone decided that they made Splinter gay, and they all had meltdowns. And Splinter is voiced by Jackie Chan. And look, I like Jackie Chan, but he's kind of a puppet for the Chinese government. Do you think ever in a million years they would let him do that? Like, never. So yeah, it was this whole thing that got blown out, and all these guys made videos complaining about it, and in the end, it's like, it's a misprint on the poster. Like, that was it. And yeah, Jackie Chan, as much as you can say about him in real life, he does do a good job in this.
He does a good job.
I was really enjoying his character. And yeah, even April's fine. April's fine.
She's fine.
I think she's fine. Yeah, so the whole story basically...
Her vomiting like crazy is a little bit much. I gotta say.
It's funny, but yeah, that stuff
makes
me sick. So I get how it could be funny to someone, but for me, I'm like, I had to stop looking at it. So basically, the mutants... So the scientists want to get the turtles and get their blood and everything.
Which is very... Eric Sachs.
from 2013.
Right.
But I mean, it is a good plot device. If you can't recreate the
machine.
serum and it's in their blood, why not do that?
Right. We're going to put them in a machine, suck their blood out.
Yes.
I'm going to milk them.
Oh, yeah. There's a running gag where he's like, they're going to milk you. And they're like, we don't have nipples. That makes no sense. They're like, oh, no, we're actually getting milked. I do. Because again, with this Splinter, he is a rat. Like, he is very much a rat. Like, unlike the turtles who were babies, he was a rat for a while before he got mutated. So he still thinks like that. Oh, I forgot. They watch YouTube videos, and that's how he teaches them to be ninjas. I'm like, okay, now we're really
they watch
stretching
a bunch
here.
of kung fu movies.
Yeah.
Well, you know, at least YouTube has like an unlimited supply of videos, and you can learn how to do
not just a book,
almost anything from YouTube. Like, you can fix your water heater by watching YouTube. So I think it's more plausible than a rat finding a book and then figuring out how to do kung fu. Like,
but they both still got Asian accents.
They both still got Asian accents.
It wasn't even like they lived in Chinatown or something. Like, where do you get this accent
that
from?
would have fixed it.
Or like he was a rat in Chinatown or
Came
something
over on
like
a boat or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So the scientists want to milk them for their blood. But at the same time, the mutants want to make some kind of device to turn everyone into mutants and kill people. They want to turn like all the animals into mutants and then kill all the humans. Yeah. And most of the mutants are in on this plan, but the turtles are like, could you not do that? Like, could you not, please?
Because we met one and she was kind of cool.
Yeah, because we met one. It's like, hey, turtles, you should meet more people. Yeah. You should really meet more people. Go to more social gatherings. You're like, oh God.
I do like the dynamic. There's a scene where the turtles are like impressed by Superfly because he's so darn cool.
Yeah.
And they like hang out with them.
I like that they hang out and try to find common ground. It isn't until you find out about the world ending thing that they're like,
oh, like they're really getting into the idea. Oh, yeah. That is one of the funniest parts of that movie. Just that whole little dynamic. They're all out having a good time. Yeah. The turtles feel the closest to what they want of like fitting in and being out in like the real world.
Because before this, they talked about how like they can't wait to be in high school. It's the most magical thing in the world, but they will never be accepted. But yeah, then it literally becomes Mutant Mayhem. Yeah. Because even his guys aren't really on his side toward the end. And then like Superfly gets so mutated. He turns into the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's really funny that like there's this mutation machine, and he falls into the water with it. So he gets mixed with a whale.
Like a whole bunch of stuff. Though.
A whole bunch of wait. But this part I laughed out loud. Where they're like, okay, this shouldn't be a problem. And then when he gets to dry land, he falls into a zoo. And they're like, oh no, this is a problem. And I like his mustache is like a giraffe neck. So they got to figure out how to stop him. It's like a fun sequence.
They are making a figure of the giant. I don't even remember what it's called, but they held it back, which I thought was so smart. It didn't come out with the original toys to spoil it.
Did he call himself Super Duper Fly, I think?
I don't remember what it is. Mega Fly, Superfly. Yeah. I don't know, but they are making a bigger like jumbo figure of that ridiculous thing he turns into.
Yeah, and then again, April's got something to do in this. She's got to overcome her fear of being on camera.
Yep.
But also, she's got to let the people know, like, hey, there are mutants out there, but there are some that are on our side that want to help us. And
turns into a love letter to New York, which happens a lot in these kind of movies.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
If you've got to go through, if you're going to get him, you got to
go through me.
Yeah.
So you see everyone working together and whatnot, and they stop it. But yeah, at the end, I know some people they feel weird about the end.
Okay.
I guess spoilers. So all the mutants who are like bad guys are now friends, and they all live with Splinter and the Turtles. How do you feel? I didn't mind it for this version. And also, I'm not a purist, but how did you feel?
Mixed bag. A lot of those guys, or half of those guys, are good guys in the Turtle continuity.
Yeah.
Like in the old cartoons and the old toy line and stuff like that. So I don't mind it, but like Bebop and Rocksteady living with the Turtles seems a little bit weird. I mean, they can easily have them go work for Shredder once Shredder shows up if they want or something. It definitely makes the sewer a little crowded.
It does. It does.
You know, to have all these guys living together.
Yeah. Like Splinter gets a girlfriend who he's looking for, by the way. He's like, you know how many other rats are out? There's not many. Wait, here's another question I had for the whole movie. what kind of cell plan are they on? They all have just regular cell phones. Like, did they steal I assume they stole them, but who's playing for the cell plan? But yeah, there's that. And then the turtles actually get accepted by society. I mean, I'm sure if they do a sequel, they'll show that not everyone is into them. But like, yeah, it ends with them like taking their ninja outfits off and actually going to school. And some people felt conflicted about that. But again, we're modernizing the turtles.
Yeah.
These days, kids are more accepting.
That's true.
Yes.
Kids are way more accepting than they were a generation ago.
Yeah.
And way more accepting than,
yes.
Kids just are.
And society in general are probably like, all right, yeah, sure, it's a turtle guy. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm sure if they do a sequel, there'll be a bunch of people online complaining about it. And there's ways you could actually explore. Honestly, I'm actually kind of happy they did that, because we see in society how people like react to things, and it's going to be cool to see that through like a turtle like exaggerated lens, where they're like, we love the turtles, oh we hate them, mutants are cool, oh you do an X-Men thing at that point.
I enjoy that they went and saw Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah,
it was similar to them.
Ooh, oh God,
similar to them going to the Knicks game. Like, I like that feeling that they're doing something in New York. Like, they're part of a community, even though they're not letting anybody see them.
Yes,
they're taking advantage of this stuff.
And of course, they're doing that classic New York thing, eating Pizza Hut pizza.
Gotta eat pizza.
Comes back in this one. I noticed it. I'm like, you did it again, didn't you?
It was Domino's in the year 1991, though.
Oh, nice.
Never pay full price for late pizza guy.
That's
the Domino's
right.
Delivery
That's
right.
Guy. Yeah. I think it's good. I'm glad that turtle fans are liking it. I think it's doing well.
Yeah, it seems to be. Well. I mean, the Barbie movie is, kind of crushing everything, but I think they're gonna.
Oh, by the way, this is the last or second to last episode coming out during Boys Month here at Hack the Movies.
Oh, I didn't even know it was Boys Month, so I should have dressed more manly then.
I know, like
I'd cut my sleeves off.
Kevin, I made a huge mistake by saying I liked the Barbie movie. In the comment section, let me know. So I decided I kicked all the girls off the channel.
Excellent.
This month. I didn't just accidentally schedule all male episodes and now I'm playing it up as a bit. I did it on purpose.
Why aren't we drinking brewski beers?
I am drinking a seltzer. That's not
all
super
right.
manly.
Here, I've got my Diet Coke. Yeah. We are men.
But yeah, Kevin, I know in that episode I said I really enjoyed Barbie, but now I hate it.
Right.
Boo, Barbie. It should make negative $1 billion. Please resubscribe if you unsubscribed after the Barbie episode.
So even though this won't necessarily be like the highest grossing movie or whatever, I think it's doing well enough that they're going to probably... I'm pretty sure they've already greenlit the sequel. Yeah. So. And I'm glad that they... Kind of like what Batman did when it rebooted. Like, let's save Joker for later. And they're like, all right, bring in the Shredder at the end. It's not a bad idea to save a good... I mean, sometimes they screw themselves and they save something really good for the second one and it never happens.
And it never happens, yeah.
But there have been so many reboots of the Turtles that we've seen the Turtles versus Shredder a bunch of times. Yeah. And I think it was smart to
even me, who loves the Shredder, it's my favorite one, even I'm like, you don't have to do Shredder right away. Right. Do some of these other things.
It was actually kind of neat that they did a whole new bad guy. Superfly, even though he's similar to Baxter, was a new character. It had a very different tone to it. I thought it was a fun new addition.
Yeah. I like that he knows everything. Yeah. He's like, let me guess, 15 years ago, some ooze went down and made you guys. And I like the Turtle Kids. I really enjoyed them. They felt organic to me. I feel like they had chemistry, the voice actors off each other. And yeah, again, even April didn't bother me. I enjoyed it. Overall, it was a good time. Now, we talked about some good turtle movies. We talked about some bad turtle movies.
Okay.
Obviously, we think the first one is the best, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I think without a shadow of a doubt.
Cool. Out of the shadow of a doubt?
Out of a shadow of a doubt.
Now we're at the point where we talk about what is the worst Ninja Turtles movie. Kevin, what did you pick?
It's a tough decision, I think.
Because, like I said, most of them are somewhat decent.
And the ones that are bad are, like, not 100% bad. Yeah. I think I'm going to have to pick the first Michael Bay Ninja Turtles as the worst one.
That's a good pick. I know, and I know why, For me, with that one, it's because the script was a hack job.
Yeah, I think that really, really hurt it.
Which is even worse because like it could have been a really decent movie.
Yes, it could have been a good start.
It was almost there. was almost there. I get why you would say that. I understand.
And I don't have any nostalgia to help soften that for me.
Yes. Yes.
So that's the other, factor there.
I feel like people are going to hate me for this, but they really shouldn't. I'm going 2.
Really? Secret of the Ooze?
I'm going 2. I know. But for me, like, when it comes to, like, 3, the damage had already been done.
Okay.
And even then, 3 kind of backtracks because they get to use their weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
2 is more disappointing because the first one was so good, and it just, whereas Out of the Shadows course corrects for the better, 2 course corrects for the worse.
Okay.
And it just kind of like really damages that first, not really, because I could watch the first one in like a bubble and be fine. But yeah, it's taking things that I love from the first movie and just ruining it. Like no weapons, Shredder being useless, not a lot of cool fights, weird dancing and stuff. Splinter being useless, no Casey Jones at all. Even though I'm not the biggest Casey Jones guy, it would have been nice to have seen him. It's just such a step down from the first film that it, like, for me, that makes it even worse. As if it were just like another, like Ninja Turtles 3 is just another bad sequel. Okay. Michael Bay, for me, I'm like, that's just another bad reboot and a long line of bad reboots. But 2, it's like, man, you had something really good and you dropped the ball so bad. So yeah, that's why I'm going 2.
All right.
3 might be technically worse on the technical
3
level.
is definitely technically worse.
But 2 just hurts more, Kevin.
I was between 3 and the first Bay Turtle movie as my worst ones.
No, but on a technical level, Bay, just like I said, because of the script and production issues, I could see why that would be the worst one. Yeah. Because you see what the sequel's like, where they didn't have those same issues, and it was a lot better.
Right.
But yes, that was our What is the Worst Ninja Turtles movie. Do you guys agree? Also, I feel like everyone picks 3, so it's nice to have some variety.
Yeah, that's kind of why I didn't go with 3. And 3 is not terrible. I just don't think it's interesting.
Okay. What's your favorite after the first one?
That's actually pretty hard.
That one's actually, that should be the episode. What is the second best Ninja Turtles movie?
If I keep my like nostalgia lens on, for me, it is Secret of the Ooze.
Okay.
But if I remove that, it might be the animated TMNT movie.
I think that's my second favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, Out of the Shadows is almost up there. Mutant Mayhem too, but Out of the Shadows is more of what I think of when I think of the Turtles, other than what they look like. Mutant Mayhem was so different, which I appreciate it. But if I want like classic Turtle stuff, yeah, it's either Out of the Shadows or that one. I do love the first animated Ninja Turtles movie, TMNT.
Mutant Mayhem's pretty good. I just feel like I can't rank it real well because I saw it once and I haven't had enough time to digest it to go like, this really fits in.
Yeah.
But my biggest complaint about that movie is just everything's really ugly in it.
Yeah.
Which,
I mean, you're making a movie about mutants, so I get it.
But even all the humans. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm like a gorgeous human being, but like Seth Rogen is kind of a troll, and he just made everybody as ugly as he is in the movie. I'm like, okay, everybody's just kind of weird and lumpy.
But yes, that is our episode on Ninja Turtles. Kevin, where can we find you?
So I have a show called Peg Warmers.
What?
Yes. It's a video podcast type show on the internet similar to this. Sometimes we film it here.
Oh.
We just recently did a Stargate episode.
We did.
And we have a few more planned and or coming out soon. But I also shoot episodes with other guests or on my own. I do things like talking about toy shows that I go to, toy news, recaps of toy lines, just all kinds of fun stuff like that.
Yeah, we got to do more episodes together. Me and Kevin are neighbors.
Yeah.
We're very close, so for a while, every once in a while, I'll have Kevin just come here and we'll just do the episodes here. So that's a lot of fun.
We're so close now. It's like it's the most convenient like setup ever for me to just come over here.
Yeah.
And film,
what did we do recently? We did Batman and Batman Returns
we did Batman
and
Batman
Stargate,
Returns,
and I think we shot one for Last Action Hero.
Yeah, Last Action Hero is coming out in September sometime. I
Nice.
don't know when the release date will be, but that's our September episode.
Nice.
And we've got more planned. Like the Hack the Movies, Peg Warmers episodes are gonna continue. It's
I gotta look at my list of upcoming reviews and see what toys we have that we can like match up with that. Speaking of September, pause. I'm gonna make sure I get the dates right. on September 16th and 17th at the Sheraton Bucks County Langhorne Hotel. I will be at PA HorrorCon.
Oh.
I got a Hack the Movies booth at PA HorrorCon. Crystal will be there. I think a bunch of us will be there because it's so goddamn close. So come out to that. That will be a lot of fun. And then in October 6th to 8th, I'll be in Tampa, Florida for Spookalla. It's another horror convention. They got a lot of guests there. That's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of big horror people there. Some characters from Scream, Halloween, the original Halloween. Christy Swanson, my Buffy, will be there. So yeah, check us out at those conventions. And I don't know if you know this. God damn it, I left the poster in another room. I have posters available now, Kevin.
Wow.
The Tony Peaks poster.
Nice.
It's finally, you can get it in shirt form and poster form. And also, I don't know if you saw, I did the Hack the Movies Batman 89 design.
Oh,
did
yeah,
you see that? So it looks like the Batman 89, but it's the Hack the Movies H.
Okay.
My artist, Nick Code, made that for me. I'm selling that now as a poster.
Excellent.
Get
the Hack the Movies merch.
Go to hackthemovies.com and then go to the store or check out the Retroware store. Go to their collections. There's a Hack the Movies collection. You can check out all of that. And yeah, please become a patron. I've been doing a lot of good stuff on Patreon lately. Not all the time. Once in a while, I get a monkey wrench thrown in my plans. But a lot during the summer, I've been getting episodes out early on Patreon.
That's fantastic.
Getting out like a week early. Hey, here you go. Here you go. And they will be out earlier. Because like I said, I have a lot of conventions coming up. So I got to make sure they get out earlier. So yeah, join all of that. Subscribe to Peg Warmers. I'm going to be back on there soon. And yeah, it's turtle time. Is that a thing?
Cowabunga.
Radical.
Bossa Nova.
I love being a turtle. There's no way for their neck to fit in there. But anyway, all right, goodbye.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.